Hey guys, happy Friday. Short holiday week, and Monday was closed because of the Easter holiday, Friday. Last Friday was closed. This week was sort of a recovery from that week. See, this is normally the part where I would press stop on the camera and then I would re-record whatever it was I was trying to say. But it's Friday, and I'm beat, man. What a long week. But let's talk about the markets today, because today, very active day. But more importantly, if you're a client of Jazz Wealth, what we do here in this Friday video is we really just start go over the week. What happened in the week? Is there something to be nervous about? Is there something to be excited about? Is there reasons to change, adjust, whatever it may be? So we like to cover that on Fridays. So we'll do that here in just a second. Just a reminder, if you're a client of Jazz Wealth, I am putting together a class, a serious class on personal finance, credit, taxes, insurance, debt, budgeting, everything. And I'm going into great detail with everything. I've been working on this all year in every spare minute that I have to go into great detail on every single aspect of your personal finances, so we can just answer every question once and for all. What are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to budget your money? How do you save your money? How do you invest your money? How do you handle your credit? How do you fix your credit? All that stuff is going to be in one class, totally free. It's always free for our clients. Like I say, I never have anything to sell but myself to our clients. The point of it is, if you have something interesting you want to add to it, I've got a lot of great suggestions already. I really appreciate it. That's helpful. A couple things I missed out on, but we're going to take care of it. So that's enough of that. Let's talk about the stock market today. The markets were down today quite a bit. They wrapped up the week lower, obviously. Here's the thing. When you see this sort of down move throughout the day on a Friday, it just means that people are nervous about taking on risk over the weekends. There may be something that someone's anticipating happening over the weekends, and with this whole China tariff thing and the back and forth, it's just that investors don't really want to have any risk going into the weekend. That's the shorter term traders. So I'm going to go over to the S&P here for just a second. Which one is it? Ta-da! Yeah, there we go. So you're looking at the S&P 500. Here's what's happened. Basically, there's a pattern. And I don't know if you follow this, the financial media, or kind of how Trump's kind of dipping into this finance stuff. But there's a pattern. Big, huge problem. Tweet about it. Make a big deal about it. I can't believe this is happening. We're going to renegotiate. We're going to, hit them with all these tariffs. And then everybody gets all riled up and excited and scared, really. And then all of a sudden there's a solution that actually kind of makes sense. That's the pattern that's been repeating. Then there's the big, more tariffs. We're going to hit them. We're going to do this commodity, this or that. And then everybody gets all worried. And then, it turns out we're going to work something out after all. That's all this is today. This is the same pattern. And I think people are starting to figure it out. I think China figured it out because they responded real quick. Trump goes, yeah, double down, $100 billion in tariffs. China goes, sure, yeah, we got you. We're coming right back at you. I don't think we were expecting that to happen. So look, to me, it all boils down to just this back and forth. Both countries got to come away with something that they can each look good doing, and that's all we're doing. They're positioning, getting that ready right now. Now, in the meantime, there's good news and bad news when it comes to your portfolio. Here's the S&P 500. We're going to go through the sort of ETFs and investments you might be seeing in your portfolio with us. But let's start with the S&P 500, because the reality of it is not much happened this week. Here's each day on the chart. If we go back 5 days, really, didn't we just kind of go back and forth? And what have I been saying all week? This is now the time correction. The price correction has stopped for the moment. We've moved on to what traders call time correction, where we just have to chop around back and forth while people digest the news and start to realize, oh wait, this is just a pattern that keeps happening, and eventually get over it. So as we look through all these investments here, look at how really nothing happened this week. It's unfortunate because we had some good days in there, but overall, most of everything you see in your portfolio probably didn't do a whole lot as far as the week is concerned. Let's start with tech, because I've been getting a lot of emails on tech, people sort of interested in this discount here and how things have fallen. Tech, basically back and forth. Go back 5 days on the chart, or 5 little blips on this chart. You can see up and down and then back up again, and then finish the week back down again, basically right where we started. So as far as performance on the week, not much there. Normally I'd report to you that something was up a lot, something was down a lot, and maybe we made some kind of adjustment. But in this case, Nothing. All week it's just been chopping back and forth, and I've been mentioning on these videos how you don't adjust during a time correction. Never adjust anything during when you find yourself in a time correction, because you'll just get chopped up. You will always sell near the lows and buy near the highs. It's just how it works. So let's move on. Taking a look, this is your S&P, your Dow, your NASDAQ sort of related investments in here. All of this chopping sideways as well, so not much going on there. I'll tell you what really held up. I don't know that we have much exposure. Mid-cap and small-cap stocks, they didn't do too bad, actually. I would say not horrible there on the small caps, but we don't have much of an emphasis on that individually. We are exposed to it. If we go over to energy, I really like what happened in energy today. We've been talking the past couple days about how this is actively showing that this time it wants to break out of this range. We're going to watch this every day to see if I'm right, but it really seems like the investors that have been piling in lately, they're pushing it higher and they want it out of this range. Today's a great example. It did sell off. Yes, it was down on the day, but it was off of its lows on the day, showing that buyers came flying back in again. So I'm pretty optimistic there on energy and the energy holdings we have in the short term. I know we're all long-term investors here, but in the short term, I'm pretty excited to see what happens. Emerging markets, choppy, really. Nothing happened all week going into the week before, like the last 9 days, not a whole lot of activity there. If we go over to REITs, little bit of strength, right? It's trying. It's starting to move up there little by little, but you wouldn't expect much out of it this week. There was just no attention over in that side of the market. Everybody else was looking at the indices, so that's to be expected. Commodities, if we go over here, still very strong. Commodities, you can see as a whole, very much at their highs. I don't really have any comments about that one. Just sort of feels good. It's just sitting there at the highs. Happy with that. And then we have your short-term, long-term bonds, anything like that. They did see a little spike towards the end of the week. Obviously, bonds getting a little bit of a boost as people sort of panic there. There's a lot going on. There really is a lot going on as far as how money's sloshing around. So I'll try to leave it at that. Basically, I don't have a lot to offer as far as performance this week. Basically, any investment that you had in the markets or any of the major sectors pretty much just chopped around. It was kind of a nothing week, and I think that's okay. Let's see if there's any questions there. Manny likes the logo. Yeah, it is sort of. We kind of just wanted to make it a little bolder and pull it out there a little bit. So thank you, thank you. Check your mail in a few days, by the way. Didn't know the Fed was going to come on today until Yahoo notified me. Well, thank goodness for Yahoo, huh? I've been following a pattern, selling near the highs, then wait for the news to drop the market. I rebuy when it's close to the bottom and repeat. Short-term traders, that is clearly what's going on in here right now. If you're fast and you're sort of active and on top of this every day, yeah, there's definitely room for some short-term trading profits. I have a friend in particular who lives on the other coast of Florida who is killing it right now. He's only an active trader, day in and day out, very active. And this is his type of market, right? Big swings back and forth really help. That extra volatility is great for the short-term traders. Back in the day when I used to really focus on day trading and teaching day trading, this was when we would stick around all day. You would trade all day long. You would just drink as much soda as you could and try to stay focused. What's your take on taking profits as far as percentages if you own some stocks in a brokerage account? That is sort of the, what would you say, the art of the trade, to be sort of silly on a Friday. Yeah, that is part of it. The approach, it depends on how you're going about it. If you only have stocks in your brokerage account, sure, most people set a starting profit target and then trail it from there. So if you're familiar with trail stops, very popular for the shorter term traders to say, look, I'm looking for X% on the way up, maybe it's 9, 10% or something. And when you get to that 10%, you say, all right, I'm willing to give back 3% in exchange for letting it see if it can go to 15% or 20%. So a lot of trailing there. I would never focus on whether you're a day trader, short-term, long-term trader, never look at a particular stock and say, I'm selling all of it at this price. Because, you know, to be sort of rude, who are you to think that you know exactly where the stock's going to stop? And if you say that to yourself, then you go, all right, cool. So I made it to a point that I want to get to, and now I'd like to try for a little more, and a little more, and a little more. But you're only willing to give up less and less as you go. Something to keep in mind. What else? Oh, jobs numbers. Job numbers came out today. They were less than expected. It wasn't really a bad jobs report overall, but those jobs numbers did come in less than expected. I would attribute about 180 points on the Dow to that jobs number, just from history and kind of how you usually see things move. So, you know, a little negative there too, so not a problem. Well, hey, it's Friday. I'm sure you guys have lots of great partying plans for the weekend. I'm going to be working on the other studio. We're putting together a new sort of setup for our videos and the new classes coming up. So enjoy. Have a safe weekend. We'll be around. I might post a thing or two just for fun over the weekend. So enjoy. Have a great weekend, guys. Talk to you Monday.